Imagine a tranquil ranch with golden sunlight, where life is calm and animals roam freely. However, one careless. That serenity was broken by an act of cruelty, and a tale of transformation, justice, and atonement ensued. You'll be left wondering how far we'll go to put things right after what transpired next. If this tale speaks to you, please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below with your opinions. Let us disseminate the message of empathy and reverence for all living things. The thunderous roar of a motorcycle broke the stillness of Willow Creek Ranch in the late afternoon. The rider, a man named Drake, broke through the gates without authorization while wearing dark shades and black leather. Like a rain cloud drifting onto a brilliant day, his arrival felt strange and out of place. When he saw a lovely black stallion grazing close by, he parked next to the fence and grinned. Shadow, the horse, was the ranch's lifeblood. Its owner, Ethan, saved it years ago after he had been abandoned and famished in the hostile desert. Ethan, a rancher and past rodeo champion, stood quietly resting on a fence and saw Shadow grazing. For a brief instant, everything appeared to be ideal. Then there was the sound of a vicious kick to Shadow's side. The other horses were startled and fled in terror as the hit reverberated throughout the field. Shadow staggered back, his deep, perceptive eyes flashing with anguish. Unaware that Ethan had seen everything, Drake made a chilly, hollow laugh before getting back on his bike and riding away. Ethan clenched his hands, his cool exterior belying boiling wrath. He was aware that he couldn't overlook this, not only for Shadow, but for all animals harmed because someone mistakenly believed they were only animals. Ethan took deliberate steps toward the barn, picked up his phone, and dialed Liam, his reliable ranch hand. Liam's dirty pickup pulled up next to the barn in a matter of minutes. Liam's jaw tensed as Ethan described what had transpired. He mumbled, "What kind of person does that to a horse?" They made sure Shadow was comfortable as they carefully loaded him onto the trailer. They were able to identify Drake as a troublemaker who was a nomad after Ethan spotted a small sticker on the rear of his motorcycle. Equipped with this knowledge, Ethan came up with a plan that was motivated by justice rather than retaliation. Drake frequently hangs out at a local motorcycle bar, which they drove to. Ethan entered by himself, drawing attention to himself. As he got closer to Drake, who was smirking and leaning back in his chair, the room became quiet. The rancher seems interested in speaking. Drake gave a fake drawl. Ethan responded in a steady but steely voice, "You hurt my horse." Drake gave a shrug, obviously unimpressed. "It's only a horse. What's so important?" Ethan moved in closer and met Drake's gaze. "It is more than just a horse. It is a live creature. What you did was needless and harsh. Something like that is something you don't ignore." Drake sneered, attempting to hide his discomfort. "Oh, guy, what will you do about it?" A resolute smile curled Ethan's lips. "You'll discover." He turned and left the pub after saying that, causing Drake to laugh, yet his eyes glowed with apprehension. Ethan told the world about Shadow back at the ranch. A local reporter highlighted Drake's brutal deed in a story about Shadow's rescue and recovery. People all throughout the world expressed their displeasure and support after the video went viral. As the pressure increased, the sheriff eventually got in touch with Ethan. Drake was currently dealing with criticism from the public after being stopped for driving recklessly. The sheriff informed Ethan that we had a conversation. He is beginning to understand. Drake accepted Ethan's invitation to the ranch, where Shadow grazed contentedly in the midday heat. Ethan pointed to Shadow as Drake exited the sheriff's truck, his customary haughtiness replaced with uneasiness. Ethan said, "This is Shadow. He was starved and abandoned, allowed to perish when I discovered him. He became the center of this ranch when I gave him another chance. And you believe that harming him was okay." For the first time, Drake saw the horse's silent might in its posture as he looked at Shadow. Shadow's big, perceptive eyes seemed to cut right through him, arousing feelings of remorse, shame, and sorrow that were unknown to him. Drake was shown pictures of Shadow's rescue and recovery as Ethan escorted him into the barn. Ethan pointed to a picture of a healthy Shadow and stated, "This is what kindness and effort can do." Drake moved uneasily as the force of his deeds pressed down on him. "I was unaware," he muttered. "That's the issue," Ethan said. "However, you can solve it. if you're prepared to accept accountability. He gave Drake the option of working at the ranch, learning how to take care of the horses, or going to court. Drake reluctantly consented to stay. Drake put in countless hours at the ranch over the course of the weeks, feeding the horses, fixing fences, and cleaning stalls. He discovered the importance of perseverance and hard effort. He gradually came to regard the animals as unique people with personalities, intellect, and trust rather than just as animals. Ethan asked him to brush Shadow one day. Drake slowly approached the stallion, despite his nervousness. He was surprised that Shadow didn't recoil or back down. Rather, he remained motionless, letting Drake tend to him. Something changed in Drake at that precise moment. A hint of acceptance, possibly even forgiveness. Drake changed as the days grew into weeks. The haughty guy who had kicked Shadow had changed. Ethan organized a small celebration for everyone on his last day at the ranch. Ethan looked at Drake and remarked, "Shadow is a symbol of what this ranch stands for. Second chances. Not just for horses, but for people too." Drake's eyes filled with tears as the ranch hands applauded and clapped. He felt true pride for the first time in years. Drake made one final approach to Shadow before departing. The stallion gave him an accepting nuzzle on the shoulder. With a voice full of emotion, Drake muttered, "Thanks, buddy." The consequences of his previous deeds followed him as he drove away, but he also felt a renewed sense of purpose. Not only was he leaving Willow Creek Ranch, but he was also leaving behind the guy he once was. Every living thing deserves respect. Second chances can result in amazing changes. And when we accept responsibility for our acts, more or less an asterisk change is conceivable. Asterisk. If this tale touched you, please leave a comment with your thoughts and like and subscribe. Let's encourage others to show love and respect to all living things.